Alright guys, so I've downloaded AutoDrive. You can see the version 1.1.1.2 AutoDrive, and this is our little hub here, and you can move it wherever you want. I leave it right here because I get GPS mod that comes up over here. So here, we're just going to go over a little bit of basics, but I mean, it's self-explanatory in here. And it does auto connect at the start. You can change it to auto connect at the end. We'll go over that, what that means here in a little bit. The driver's wages, you know, Pathfinder kind of thing. Pathfinder's for when you start them off the side of their actual course that you want them to go. So I mean, you guys can run through here and see. It's self-explanatory for the most part, corner speed, and this works for, this is every single, separate on every single vehicle that you have. So I mean, you could adjust every single tractor and all that. This does work with Horseplay, so you have that option too. Whenever you change anything in here, make sure you check apply like I did, and I take this down a ways. Otherwise, they just like to come flying around. And then here's our editing mode. And as you guys can see, I already have a course kind of started here. I shouldn't say a course started, multiple courses started. And what I'm looking to do is connect into a new point. I want to be able to go in here and tell AutoDrive to drive right in and get to my commodities 5 points back in there. So, if I can remember where it's at, when you click on your triangle, when you get close to where you want it to start, you click record, and you see how the line, the red line here in the middle of my semi was over here, and that's what you want to have happen. Otherwise, it will record off of that point on the other side of the road, which we do not want. So then it's just like Horseplay, and you're going to drive your course where you want them to go, and make sure you do it wide enough. I did a little too wide, and if that's the case, this is why I like AutoDrive the most. You feel like you made it too wide, you right click when you, alright, give me a second. We'll get rid of Horseplay on this one real quick. But anyways, when you bring it up, if you have issues finding where your mouse is, it's the middle mouse button, middle roller, and you can change that in your settings too. But with you thinking and you need to edit, you don't actually have to delete everything. You just right mouse click on these nodes and it will move. And the thing I like most about AutoDrive is that they don't have to be perfect. It can figure it out. It isn't crazy like Horseplay where it has to go to every last one. And we're just going to do a basic one here. I needed to back up. And when you back up, you want to stop recording. Otherwise, you get blue markers like that. This is just how to basic right now. And I will get more in depth here with a few more tutorials. And this is how I usually do it, is just as I drive along, I edit. You want to make sure your arrows are still pointing the same way. And then I gotta grab those blue ones now because I messed around with it. We're gonna bring it up here. Now watch where my red marker is on my truck. It goes from node to node to node, and you're gonna want to put it on what node you want to delete. And your delete button is right here. It will delete that node, and then all I gotta do is click record again. She auto connects at the start. and we're off. Now, the only other thing you really got to worry about a lot here is your turning radiuses. Because when you go to turn, it's looking out in front of you farther than what you think it is. And with the semi I got, I was wondering if we go over the train tracks. I'm going to bring them way out here. And I do not want to get too close to that tree, otherwise it would signal it and it would stop. Now that I got that established, I'm going to... Yep. So it's bottoming out. We stop recording. And I'm gonna left click on them, move them over, and see if I can get this to work over here. I gotta figure out what collision that's actually hitting on actually. Okay, now we record again. And we're gonna bring it right into where I know it is. Then we're gonna want to put the point on. This works for buy point or sell point. Name it whatever you want to put here. Good enough for me. And then we're just going to keep going. And the reason why I keep it short is because you got that. You start typing long ones in there, they just get smaller and smaller, harder and harder to read. So you can cross right over your other line without any issues. And then we'll drive her right back out to the beginning. And I'll show you how you guys can connect this into multiple directions. And this is what I like about auto drive more than anything else. So I bring it up here, and yes, you can switch it so it auto connects at the end when you click off, but that would just make it difficult on a bunch of small little editing or courses. So now that I have it ended right there, I'm going to left click on it so it's green, and then left click on my next one that I want, and it goes to green, and now he can find this direction. Now you can easily do this by, we're just going to click on that one and click on that one, and now they know how to get here. And the same way with going out. Or you could drive your little course, but this is just the easiest, simple way. And then once you get it done, you can test it over pretty quick, see if you need to change anything. But all you got to do is select commodities out of your list, click drive, and he will start to go. Now, if you have any issues where he won't drive or says he can't find it, it's because you have one little spot, one little segment, one little section in here, and you'll have to click your triangle, drive it, and look for it. It would be really, it gets really hard to find it, but if you drive the course and look for it, you shouldn't have any issues. You'll be able to spot it eventually. And that's the basics of auto drive. Just to get you guys started with it on how to do your course and everything. And you got so many more options. Mess around with it and figure it out. I mean, you got even your load option right here if you wanted to pick up something and dump something off. I mean, it's just endless of what you could do with it. But we'll get into depth more with that later, so we'll see you guys later.